Welcome everybody. My name is Shanae Melendez and I'm the Development and Advancement Manager at Museo de las Americas. Thank you for joining us tonight for the opening reception of SOMOS We Are. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors and donors who make our work possible. West Staff, Malin Foundation, Arts and Society, Colorado Creative Industries, Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, SCFD, Bonfee Stanton Foundation, Gyrie's Paint, Alpine Bank, First Bank, Wana Brands, and Moon Dance Botanicals. Thank you for your support, and I'd like to introduce Museo's Executive Director, Claudia Moran.
Welcome to the opening of our newest exhibition, SOMOS, We Are. It is my pleasure to host this night Latina Safe House and Art and Color. It has been a wonderful journey for me. 2 years ago, Ángela Ceseña, the Executive Director for Latina Safe House, and I met, had a wonderful conversation, and spoke about having an exhibition about domestic violence, a theme that touches our families and our community in so many different ways. Yes, it was a very powerful conversation to start planning for a project that took us 2 years to put it all together. Since then, I want to thank the entire Museo staff for all the wonderful work they have done to have this exhibition right now, and it's been a fruition for all of us. Museo de las Americas is dedicated to support our communities in so many different ways. Museo right now is the host for themes and conversations that spoke to all of us. We want to host these conversations. We want to be part of them. And we want to invite you all to be part of these conversations too. We think it's important, and we think that Museo is dedicated to that learning experience that can provoke and create awareness in so many different ways and so many different issues that currently happen in our community. Soon after Angela and I had a conversation, Carina Bañuelos-Harrison, the curator for this show, came and joined the team. Carina has been a wonderful curator, collaborating with all the artists that presented pieces for the show, but also she's been handling the conversations between Las Comadres and the artists. Las Comadres, a group from Latina Safe House, have been the inspiration for many of the artists for this show. I want to thank you both. This project has been unique, it's been very powerful, and we are looking forward to create that inspiration in many of you. I also want to thank our board of directors, our staff, in this case, all the people that was part of this installation, like Juan Carlos Baños, Juan Moran, Laura Bicom, Kimberly Gutierrez, and so many of the staff that is also working behind the scenes. Thank you to all of you for the wonderful work in this show. Now, let me introduce you to Carina Bañuelos-Harrison, the curator for the show.
Thank you all for joining us for the opening of SOMOS We Are exhibit today. Domestic violence is a topic that can be overlooked, especially in our Latinx community. Many of us have been affected by domestic violence personally, and many of us, whether we know it or not, have been affected by it through generational trauma. SOMOS We Are is an exhibit that brings awareness to domestic violence and the voices of many resilient survivors. As a Latinx artist and curator, I find that representation within our community matters and can be a catalyst to shedding light on issues that are often taboo in my community and culture. While domestic violence occurs most often behind closed doors, where it manipulates the community into believing that it is a private affair, yet it is undoubtedly a public and community matter. In order to halt the cycle of domestic violence, we must reveal how profane domestic violence really is, instead of wrapping it up as taboo. 1 in 3 Latina women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Domestic violence within the Latinx community continues to be an unspoken topic. Machismo uniquely contributes to how deeply rooted domestic violence is in our culture and community. In the throes of COVID-19, the number of domestic violence cases increased, making Latinas even more vulnerable to the abuse at the hands of their partners, husbands, and/or family members. Alarmingly, many incidents go unreported. Not to mention, domestic violence impacts children, and without intervention, it becomes a generational pathology. Therefore, unpacking the topic of domestic violence through the survivors' voices will serve as a proverbial lighthouse for the community, navigating through a topic that makes us uneasy. Throughout the exhibit, I invite viewers to see, hear, and feel the voices of Latinx survivors. These survivors experience profound physical and emotional trauma, yet manifest the power of healing and resiliency. The work included is a celebration of strength, support, and connection. Publicly exposing the implications of domestic violence transforms the conversation around what many of us consider forbidden and gives us an opportunity to empower survivors. This exhibit is dedicated to Las Comadres Unidas, the resilient and valiant hermanex in the Latinx community. Survivors, we hold space for you here. I wanted to personally thank Museo de las Americas for asking me to be a part of this important exhibition. I wanted to also specifically thank the Executive Director of Museo de las Americas, Claudia Moran, as well as the staff here at Museo. I also wanted to mention the artists that are included in the exhibition: Sandra Scarate, Manuel Cordero and Tanya Valenzuela, Javier Flores, Kimberly Laenes, Delaney Martinez, Mauricio Meneses, Moluv, Analisa Ortiz, Adriana Paula Palacios Luna, Gonzalo Pedraza, Janelle Rosales, and Sami Otzi. I am now going to introduce you all to the Executive Director of Latina Safe House, Ángela Ceseñas.
Thank you so much, Carina. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Museo de las Américas, Art and Color, Los Artistas y Las Comadres. My name is Ángela Ceseña. I'm the Executive Director of Latina Safe House, and Latina Safe House is a community-based nonprofit organization that serves Latinx survivors of domestic violence and their children. And the story behind SOMOS is that it actually came from a support group called Comadres Unidas. Y Las Comadres wanted a safe space to be able to share their stories, regain control of their narrative, and have this therapeutic outlet so that as a community we can have this conversation. And thanks to Art and Color and Museo de las Americas, this dream became a reality. I did want to also ask you all to please be mindful when you view the exhibition. As a sort of trigger warning, please make sure that you are taking care of yourself and seeing how your body is reacting to the different pieces. Take some time to really process those emotions and take the time and space that you need. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we wanted to invite you to a Somos Semillas community conversation group that will be moderated by an LCSW. And again, just thank you to Carina, Art and Color, Claudia, Museo de las Américas, Las Comadres, Los Artistas, and for our community for being willing and open to having this conversation. Together we can support survivors and we can break the cycle of domestic violence. As a community, we cannot normalize domestic violence, but we can and should normalize seeking support. So again, thank you all so much. And now I would like to welcome back Carina for a quick tour of the exhibition.
This is a piece by Mauricio Meneses. It is called After the Storm. As you can see, there is an image of a deer as well as books from the corner and then moving on into the middle, the center of the artwork. Also focusing on a mother and her child, and also thinking about a family member that they have in their family. The piece is talking about that there's a calm before the storm. It's also highlighting domestic violence, generational trauma within families. That is why there's a symbolism of the deer who are very wise, as well as quick, and as well as an image of the grandmother and the mother and the son. And without education or help, that generational trauma can end, and that therefore that's why the books are within this art piece. The artwork is made out of watercolor. It is a little bit hard and difficult to kind of figure that out. You have to get up a little bit close, but I think the artist does a great job kind of narrating a story about historical trauma. Now we are moving on over to two pieces by the artist Samiotzi. She has created two works of art on acrylic. They are black and white, and they do tell the story of and the strength of women. The first one on the left side, she is talking about women who are experiencing domestic violence while they are pregnant or in pregnancy, and how that violence and feelings and all of that is all connected. You can kind of see that the artist has put a crack in the middle of where the belly goes, but at the same time, the mother is looking very calm and somber in front of her favorite flower, as well as she knows that she has the strength of the moon as well as water. You do see in Samiotzi's works that there are always hands reaching out, giving the metaphor that there is always help. So this is the artwork called Así fue, which in English means this is how it happened. And then if we move over here to the right side, this is her piece called No, It Is Not Normal or Part of My Culture. Samiotzi had originally applied for the artist call with this work, so she had already created it prior to the exhibit, but I felt that it spoke to me and it was very powerful. As you see various women within this piece, the one in the middle or the center is holding her heart, knowing that she has full strength and control. You also see the different emotions that women can be feeling when they are being victims of domestic violence. You see a mother who has tears and is crying. She also has a cross wrapped very tightly around her neck, giving the metaphor that religion sometimes doesn't give women a voice. She is also holding her son very tight to protect him, and also thinking about memories about when her child was born. So this piece gives strength and resiliency to women. And again, you see the hands, not just in white, but in black as well. The next piece I'm going to show you is by Kimberly Layenes. So This is the third piece that I'm going to be showing you, and they are all obviously connected and tell a story of domestic violence, but all three of these pieces specifically deal with generational trauma. The famous loteria, or can also be looked at as bingo, is shown here in Kimberly's piece. She is talking about what happens within domestic violence. It says that there's a borracho, which is the drunk, el cinto, the belt, la violada, the victim, or I'm sorry, the assaulted, and then la víctima, which is the victim. And you also see different other aspects of domestic violence. The hands are specifically in black and white, giving the effect that the person who is in control of this game, who is also calling the cards, is in control of this person's life. So there are a lot of symbolism within this piece. And this piece is called Loteria. And then these three pieces over here are explaining what the cards look like. So el secuestro, la bala, and el hospital, which is telling you, giving you more information about the story of this person playing Loteria. And I wanted to give it back to Claudia. She will be giving you more information about the programming within here at Museo, as well as the programming that is involved for the next 6 months. All right.
Thank you, Carina, so much for that wonderful tour. Now I want to make a special mention for a satellite exhibition that is happening along with SOMOS at Museo de las Américas. Las Adelitas and a group of artists is presenting a satellite show that is being at Raíces Brewing Company. We want to thank you all for your participation in this satellite exhibition, and we also welcome you to come and visit the show at Raíces Brewing Company. Thank you to Tamil and Jose for hosting this satellite exhibition at their wonderful business. Thank you for that. But I also want to invite you to be part of this conversation. You will have many different opportunities for you to enjoy the show and to learn in different ways about the show. We are having next week Conectarte, that is artist and curator conversations, in which we will learn about the show and the work behind the scenes. Also, we will have every first Friday panel discussions. Those are with different guest speakers, and we will have on different themes every month. And also, we'll have Art of Cultura, hands-on workshops for adults. Please go to Museo's website, www.museo.org, and you can select and reserve your tickets in there. I also want to thank all the different interns and volunteers at Museo, because without their help, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you all. We will welcome you anytime you would like to come to Museo and see the show. Museo opens tonight, and the show will be here until August. Please reserve your tickets, come and visit us. Thank you all for being here tonight with us.